Genesis chapter 25. Then again, Abraham took a wife. Sarah had died. There he was all alone. He took another wife. Anyway. And her name was Keturah. And she bare him Zimran, and Jokshan, and Medan, and Midian, and Ishbak, and Shua. And Jokshan begat Sheba and Dedan. And the sons of Dedan were Ashurim, and Netushim, and Leumim. And the sons of Midian, Ephah, and Epher, and Chanoch, and Abida, and Eldah. And all these were the children of Keturah. There's some relationships here that are interesting, maybe even in the end times situations, eschatologically. But even this mention of Midian here becomes interesting later, because it seems that Moses would marry into that family, and so his wife, it would seem, comes from one of these other descendants of Abraham. His father-in-law being the priest of the Midianites. Likely then being a priest of the true God, not a pagan priest, because Abraham would have taught these children as well the true and the living God, not only Isaac. He didn't make the rest of his family pagan. All right, verse 5. And Abraham gave verse 5. And Abraham gave all that he had unto Isaac. But unto the sons of the concubines, concubines, is that a good word in English? I don't know, maybe. Keturah maybe being considered a concubine, another wife, not the principal wife. And of course, from the situation that he had before with Hagar, she was more like a concubine, only used for that purpose, unfortunately. But it was of the flesh, and that was left behind. I don't know that I would call this second wife, Keturah, a concubine, but the point is being made that she's not his principal wife through whom God gave the promise. So that's how they saw that, perhaps, in those days. The concubines which Abraham had, Abraham gave gifts and sent them away from Isaac his son, while he yet lived eastward unto the east country. So that is like over the Jordan River, over those eastern mountains that you see, the Jordanian mountains that you see when standing on the Israeli side. And these are the days of the years of Abraham's life, which he lived, 160 and 15. So that's 175 years he lived. Then Abraham gave up the ghost and died. That's interesting to me that that's a dual process. He did both. He gave up the ghost and died. I don't know. Maybe there's something there. In a good old age, an old man and full of years, and was gathered to his people. And his sons, Isaac and Ishmael, buried him in the cave of Machpelah in the field of Ephron, the son of Zoar the Hittite, which is before Mamre. This is interesting to me. These are those little details sometimes I want to know more about. Isaac and Ishmael still knew each other. Ishmael was sent away from the family. Isaac and Ishmael knew each other somehow. Isaac was living when he met Rebekah at the well that Hagar named because of the angel that had come to visit and give the promise that he gave to Ishmael. Maybe they were friends. I don't know. Maybe he felt bad that they got sent away for making fun of him. Maybe he wasn't in agreement with Sarah's decision. We don't know. I think it's cool, though, that they did become friends later. They did have peaceable relations here, obviously. And Ishmael still acknowledged Abraham as his father. And I don't think that in an emotional sense, I don't think Abraham sort of got rid of his son or disowned his son, just in the practical senses, as God had shown him that Isaac was to be the promised son. Verse 9. And his sons Isaac and Ishmael buried him in the cave of Machpelah in the field of Ephron, the son of Zohar the Hittite, which is before Mamre. The field which Abraham purchased of the sons of Chet, there was Abraham buried, and Sarah his wife. And it came to pass, after the death of Abraham, that God blessed his son Isaac, and Isaac dwelt by the well, Lachai Roi. Again, he's there in that area in general, that Isaac lives in the area where Ishmael received his promise as well. You know, someone receiving a promise doesn't mean that the other people can't be friends with them. In the flesh, that may be true, but reality is God's blessed Ishmael as well. We could see that as Christians and Jews, like, because the Jews received the promise, can we be grateful and glad that they received the promise? Can we live together in harmony? God's blessed us as well supernaturally. It's not like he hasn't blessed us. He's blessed them. He's blessed us. There's no reason to have that sense of, I want to say disunity, but no. That selfishness, that gets in the way so often. Anyway, it's not a sermon. Now, these are the generations of Ishmael, Abraham's son, whom Hagar, the Egyptian, Sarah's handmaid, bare unto Abraham. Now, these are the generations of Ishmael. Remember, each one responsible for bringing their recording of their family into the compilation that Moses would bring together ultimately later on. So this is how Moses receives the documents later on. These are the generations of Ishmael, Abraham's son, whom Hagar the Egyptian, Sarah's handmaid, bare unto Abraham. And these are the names of the sons of Ishmael by their names, according to their generations. The firstborn of Ishmael, Navayot, and Kedar, and Adbeel, and Mibsam, and Mishma, and Duma, and Massa, Chadar, and Tema, Jetur, Nafish, and Kedema. These are the sons of Ishmael, and these are their names by their towns and their castles. Interesting how the King James puts that. 12 princes according to their nations. And these are the years of the life of Ishmael, 137 years, 137 years old. And he gave up the ghost and died. Again, interesting process there. Two things. The spirit went on, being given up, and the body died, and was gathered unto his people, and they dwelt from Havilah to Shur, that is before Egypt, that goes toward Assyria, and he died in the presence of all his brethren. And these are the generations of Isaac, Abraham's son. Abraham begat Isaac. And Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah to wife, the daughter of Bethuel the Syrian of Padan Aram, and sister to Laban the Syrian. Interesting, because, technically, Jews aren't Jews. They are, but, they're Syrians in a sense, That's where their ancestry comes from. They have a more ancient ancestry, but they're identified differently because God chose them and set them apart. And Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife because she was barren. And the Lord was entreated of him, and Rebekah his wife conceived, and the children struggled together within her. And she said, "If it be so, why am I thus?" And she went to inquire of the Lord. This becomes interesting as we see Isaac's character personally, not in the typological aspect, but maybe it has something to do with that. He personally doesn't seem to be someone who's very active in his faith. And so she goes to inquire of the Lord to understand what's going on. And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. And the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elders shall serve the younger. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. And the first came out red, all over like a hairy garment. And they called his name Esau. And after that came out his brother, and his hand took hold of Esau's heel, and his name was called Heel Catcher, Yaakov. And Isaac was 80 years old when she bare them. So they had to wait 20 years. Usually the Lord causes these kind of things so that we listen, you know. Many times, if he doesn't cause a difficulty, we don't cry out and we don't listen so much. And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field, and Jacob was a plain man, dwelling in tents. And Isaac loved Esau, because he did eat of his venison. So a little bit fleshly there in that sense, Isaac. Creating a mistake here, loving one child over the other. This is always going to cause problems in the family if you pick favorites among the children. As best as you can. Maybe we talk to one more than the other. Maybe just by time and circumstance. As parents, you have to go out of your way to make sure that every child knows how much they're loved and cared for, that they are equal, because these divisions cause serious problems. But Rebekah loved Jacob, so there was division in the family. And Jacob sawed pottage, and Esau came from the field, and he was faint. And Esau said to Jacob, Feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage, for I am faint. Therefore was his name called Edom, that is, red. And Jacob said, Sell me this day thy birthright. And Esau said, Behold, I am at the point to die, and what profit shall this birthright do me? And Jacob said, Swear to me this day. And he sware unto him. And he sold his birthright unto Jacob. Then Jacob gave Esau bread and pottage of lentils, and he did eat and drink, and rose up and went his way. Thus Esau despised his birthright. That's the point of that story, to display Esau's fleshly nature, despising his birthright. Well, he couldn't get it back.